Hi, and welcome to our YouTube channel. I am so glad you are here. As you can tell from the YouTube video title, we are going to be talking about how to get started with homeschooling. Before I do that, I want to introduce myself. My name is Adriana, and I am a homeschooling mom to 4 little girls. Here on this channel, you will find homeschool, motherhood, and homemaking inspiration and encouragement. So let's get started. Okay, so first step, find some friends. Find a support group, pretty much anyone else that homeschools. So when we started homeschooling, we had just moved from Oklahoma to Idaho. I did not have many friends here, and I did not know anyone here that homeschooled. So I went onto Facebook and I looked up different groups. I went into the search bar and I searched homeschool in eastern Idaho, homeschooling in Idaho Falls area, homeschooling moms, just different groups. If you type in different, just like, homeschooling in Illinois, just put in where you're from, and homeschool groups should pop up, and join them. Ask to join those groups and go to the meetups. I know it can be really intimidating. I know it was for me. The first group that I went to was here locally where I live, and I didn't like it. It seemed a little too, just not what I was looking for. So I went on with my search. I ended up finding another group, and I met some amazing women, and I'm friends with them now, good friends with some of them, and we love going. It's very informal. We go to a park, we play, well, the kids play and the moms sit and talk, and it's awesome. So my first step would be go and find a support group, because homeschooling can be hard. You're going to have hard days, and it's good to have some like-minded mamas that will help you when you have those hard days. And this kind of takes us into step 2, which is figure out what your homeschool laws are. That can sound a little bit scary. Homeschool laws? I didn't know there were homeschool laws when I started. I learned that when I went to this play group. And I quickly learned that here in Idaho, where we live, it's very lenient, very free with homeschooling. There's nothing I have to report, nothing I have to turn in, nothing like that. So that is really nice. Okay, so there's quite a few states that are like that. I know Oklahoma is also one of those states. You are going to have other states that have a bit more rules with it. But one thing to keep in mind is you can homeschool no matter what state you are in. It is your right to be able to homeschool your children. I would say that the best resource for this would be, I believe it's hslda.com. Down in the description box, I'm going to have a link to my blog post. And in my blog post, you'll find the links to all these different places that I'm mentioning. Okay, step 3. Figure out your child learning style. You learn your children's learning style by teaching them, by watching them. I'm going to take these off. By watching them and by just, studying them and seeing how they like to learn certain things. Because it might be that they like to learn one thing one way, and they like to learn another subject, a different way. And that's okay. You as their mom or their dad can tailor different curriculums or different lessons to your child. And you'll slowly start learning different things to do with them that will work, things that they'll catch on to. Like for instance, I have my 3rd child. She's only 4, she'll be 5 in August, but we've been working on letter recognition and letter sounds, which is not a huge deal to me right now, but she wants to learn them, so I want to teach them to her. I have found that she really likes to do the different workbooks because she sees her older sisters doing them, but she's not really grasping the information, okay? So what I've done with her is I've wrote different letters on little index cards, and I have put them around the room, and I'll tell her, okay, hop on to letter A. And she goes and she hops on to letter A. She likes, her brain works better as she's moving, as she's doing things, as she's playing. She's a little girl. They learn through play. So I guess what I'm trying to say, and I'll probably cut this back short, is you will learn your children's learning style just by teaching them. I wouldn't stress out about this before you even start homeschooling. And that's because even though it makes it a little bit easier to buy your curriculum when you know your child's learning style, it's not a deal breaker, because I have found that curriculum is pretty easy to adjust to your child's learning style. So that leads us into step 4, picking a curriculum. This can be so overwhelming. There's so many curriculums out there, and so many of them are amazing. They are really good. So what I did was I knew that I couldn't spend a lot on curriculum. I needed to set a budget and stick to it, because I had to buy stuff for my oldest, my second, and then I wanted to get something for my third, because I knew she was going to want to do something while her 2 older sisters did work. So I set a budget, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going past this. So for me, that was the most important thing. For you, it might be something different. So just set what your main priority is, and mine was just a budget, because I did not have a huge budget to work with. So we went with The Good and the Beautiful, which I love. I have loved everything that I have gotten from them. So like I said, curriculum is pretty easy to adjust to your child, adjust it to the learning style. I have found that The Good and the Beautiful is very easy to adjust to different learning styles, and it is also very gentle. With curriculum, if you see something that you like and you are thinking about getting it, I encourage you to go onto YouTube and just type in the curriculum name and see what comes up. There are a lot of YouTube channels that do, reviews on these different curriculums, and even give you a look into the curriculums, or even give you a, do a lesson with us. Those are things I plan on doing on my channel too eventually. But there are different YouTube channels that do that for you, and that is really nice. It's such a great resource. YouTube is a great resource to use for pretty much anything. So I encourage you to check YouTube. So step 5 is creating a plan. I like to plan stuff, but then I have a really hard time sticking to that. It's something I'm working on. I am working on trying to be more consistent. But also planning stuff, even though it kind of gets stuff out of my mind, it also overwhelms me. So when we first started homeschooling, I laid out everything I wanted to do. I wrote down all of our curriculum. I wrote down what days we were going to be on what lesson, and that didn't work for us. I had a newborn. We had just moved. It didn't work. It was too much. So what we do now is I will make a list of the curriculum that we're going to have for that school year. And then with that list, I also ask my girls, what are some different things you want to learn? And so usually the stuff that they want to learn kind of comes up under like science or history. And I put that on our list. And then from that list, I will go and do research and buy extra materials that will help with that kind of stuff. I would say that probably the best thing to plan for is what kind of school year you are going to have. So besides just planning like, okay, this is the curriculum we're going to use, create how your school year is kind of going to look. Is it going to look more like a traditional school year where you start maybe in August and September and you take breaks for, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Labor Day, and then you finish your school year, in May or June, and then you take the summer completely off? Or you can do what we do is year-round schooling. So we don't take a summer break. We really don't take a Christmas break or even a Thanksgiving break. We take breaks whenever we want. That just allows for more freedom in our homeschool. It allows for us to be able to be like, you know what, we're kind of not feeling school today. It's getting kind of hard. We're going to put that aside. We're going to take a break and just call it a playing day or a reading day or a going outside day. And that's okay to take a break because we're doing year-round schooling and I don't have that pressure of having to meet a certain goal by a certain day. We meet our goals when we meet our goals. I know for some people that might drive you crazy, but for us, that is what works, and that might be what works for you, is just being a little more lenient, giving yourself grace, giving your children grace to be able to accomplish the things when they're accomplished. So step 6 is probably my favorite one, and that is to remember your why. Why did you start homeschooling? For us, it was different reasons. One of the main reasons was I had felt that I needed to homeschool my girls for a really long time, and I did not listen to that call for a while. My oldest did go to public school for pre-K and then half of kindergarten, and then 2020 happened. And can I just say that listening to the call to homeschool my kids just changed my perspective on motherhood, even marriage. It just changed it completely. I think when you listen to the call, to God's call for your life, it just opens so many doors. So anyways, figure out your why and maybe write it down somewhere, okay? Because you will have hard days. Just like any other thing in life, if you work, you have hard days at work sometimes. That doesn't mean that you don't love what you're doing or that it's just bad. It just means that you're having a hard day. Okay, so I'm going to lay out a few steps that I take that help me on those hard days. First, do not compare yourself to other moms. Do not compare yourself to me. Do not compare yourself to someone you see on Pinterest, on Instagram, on Facebook, even your friends. Most of the time, people are only showing you their good days, their great days, their whoa days. And not every day is like that for everyone. I know I really don't want to show the days that we are just, crying and screaming and not put together. The devil will come and try to destroy your happiness, try to destroy your joy that you have built in your family by comparison. Do not let him do that, okay? Listen to me. Do not let him steal your joy. You can have joy in motherhood and homemaking and anything because you have Christ, okay? So do not let the devil come in and steal your joy by comparing yourself to someone else. Okay, 2, if you are pulling your child out of another school setting, so be it private school, Montessori school, public school, daycare, childcare, give yourself grace, give your child grace, because it is going to be different for you. You are used to your kid being somewhere else, being taught by somebody else, and that's going to be a huge change for you to be the person that is doing every single thing for them. Cooking, cleaning, teaching, wiping their butts. You're going to be doing all of it, and it's going to be hard. And then give your child grace. It's going to be different for them, for you to be their teacher, for you to be teaching them. And that's okay. The more you start homeschooling, you guys will get used to each other, and it will be amazing. 3, which is probably one of the most important ones. Pray. I know a lot of times it's hard to humble yourself and to ask for help. But you need it. You need it, your child needs it, your family needs it. You need to pray. But this is the last tip I have for you guys, okay? Take a break if you need to take a break. And that's okay. It's okay to take breaks in your day if you have to, okay? Don't feel guilty about it. I guarantee you almost everyone does it. It's better to take a break than to lose your cool, okay? I have found that. If I'm going to start losing my cool, because having a short temper and short patience has been something that I have intentionally been working on for the last few years. And so I rather take a break and cool down than lose it. Okay, that's something that I don't like doing, and that's one way that I avoid it is, okay guys, you know what? Things aren't really going how we want them to right now, and that's okay, but we're just gonna take a break. So maybe we'll go read a book, and it's fine. It's better than you being like, okay? No one likes that. You don't, your kids don't, so just take a break. But anyways, that's what I got for you guys. If you lasted this long, thank you. These videos are not easy for me to make. Kind of awkward, to be honest, but I appreciate you guys. If you liked this video, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and if you think somebody could use this video or our channel, then please send them. Please share us to them. So anyways, yeah, thank you.